Perfect. Hi, everyone. Welcome to
Hi,
my
everybody.
channel. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And with me, I have Shari from Voices
Hi.
from the Swamp. Yeah, my sister from the
That's
Mystic
right.
Group.
Sisters from another mister.
Exactly. And
Sister.
you know what? We
That's
have
right.
it's been quite a
Oops, I
while
forgot
since
to another mister.
ex-
I forgot to delete the other one. I mean to mute the other. I
yeah.
keep it running on the other computer, so if something looks weird, I can say something doesn't look right. But
Yep, no, got it. Hey, Avana.
hi, Avana. There's the other sister.
Yeah, that's the other sister. And
We were
Shari and
just
I
talking
were
about
just
your
talking
gemstone
backstage.
cards.
Yeah, about I got my package yesterday and very very thrilled to get it. Can't wait to work with it and see
Yeah,
how it
and
goes. And hi
I
Bella,
got
how you
mine.
doing?
And then, of course, I bought the book. I figured I got the cards for free. Thank you very much, Ivana. So the least I could do was buy her book. And I
There
didn't
you
go
go.
to the cheapie section. I bought it from a real book dealer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And hello, Andrea 54 and Lauren.
Isabella,
Annie Hamlet? Yeah.
Andrea, Lauren, Annie. Oh boy,
Yeah.
we got us some.
Excellent. Perfect. Come
Oh
on in,
gosh.
everybody. Look, I'm
Everybody,
sitting a
come
little
on in. Let's have fun.
Yeah. This is where all the cool kids are hanging out tonight.
That's it. Don't mind the mess behind me, please. I'm in the process of cleaning out that corner, so I have more crap stacked on my desktop than I normally do because that's my little desktop where I do my nails. I have my
Uh-huh.
little machine and all my colors and all my stuff, and because I do the gel on my
Yes.
nails to make them thick and hard
Yeah.
because my nails are really weak and they break and split real easy. So and I got tired of paying a freaking fortune at the nail salon, and then half the time I kept getting nail fungus from them because they reuse
Yeah.
their stuff. They don't use
No,
fresh
a lot.
stuff.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of them, rather than use the proper stuff that they're supposed to, they use like a dental gel. And yeah,
Yeah.
I must admit, I do have a friend of mine who does my nails.
There you
Uh,
go.
yeah, she does the nails. However, I like to do the colors and the decoration and all
Yeah,
that.
I'm always changing the colors. So
Yeah.
I don't do I found the poly gel, which is
Mhm.
like you put the gel inside of a nail form. You
Yeah.
put it on your finger with a little
Yes.
clamp, stick it under the lamp, and then you pop the form off and you got a nail. And then you can file it down as long, as short, as sharp, whatever you want to do with it. And when I discovered that, I mean, for the cost of a 6 month supply was equal to that of one trip to the salon.
Exactly.
And then since I started doing it, now I have my own little electric machine,
Yep.
to buff
Yep.
and grind. And I figured if I'm gonna do it, I might as well invest in it. And
Exactly.
so I
Yeah. And
do my
yeah,
own.
the stuff will be, yeah.
Yeah, and I know everything's clean because I put everything in alcohol and I clean
Yeah.
everything, and I'm the only one that uses it. So
There you go.
and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes me feel
Also,
nice
yeah.
to have nice nails. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got naked nails right now. I'm in the process of getting ready to do a new layer, so I had to get all the stuff off.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And Isabella started doing hers herself. Yeah. I think, you know what, if I probably would have gone the same route if it wasn't for the fact that Tasha is a really good friend of mine. She does an excellent, excellent job.
Oh, if I had somebody that could
And
do them for me, oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I would rather, I mean, they're, um, she's got a family to take care of. And, there are times when
that's
it
different
can be a
when
bit
you're
of a
going to
struggle.
someone
So,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah,
paying them their fee for doing their job. I mean, It's like somebody
exactly.
that cuts hair. I wouldn't ask a friend that cuts hair to cut my hair for free. You know,
Yeah.
I would ask them, would you be willing to give me a haircut? What are you going to charge me?
Yeah.
And then we go from there, you know, and if they don't want me to pay anything, that's on them. But I always offer, you know, and,
Yeah.
because I
Exactly.
know, I used to get mad at my husband because people would always call him this, that, or the other and broke dishwasher, washer, refrigerator. And with the exception of paying for the part, he would never charge anybody anything. He would just do it. And I'd be like, baby, you gotta charge them money. That's you took a whole day away, you know, just to
Yeah.
take care of it. And he'd be like, no, just if they want to give me something, they will, you know, and it just that's how he
Yeah.
was. And
Yeah.
it kind of
Oh,
rubbed off on me. So, but
yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
yeah.
So, have you heard the news?
Which one? I've heard bits and pieces all day. It's been a day, let me tell you.
It has been a day.
A
Trump
week
Org
actually, but
convicted of all 17 charges.
wait, what?
Trump Org was found guilty of all 17 charges.
Oh my goodness. Who's
Uh-huh.
going to jail?
I don't know that anyone's going to jail, but this
Yeah, but
certainly,
Junior and Eric and Ivanka were all in charge of Trump org.
there is nothing that happened in that organization that Trump didn't know about.
Oh,
Nothing
absolutely
happened
not.
without his direction. So,
Absolutely not. His
yes,
Weinberger, whatever his name is, that's sitting in
yeah,
jail right now in
exactly,
Rikers. Thank you very kindly. And Michael
exactly.
Cohen, who did his time and is now
Yeah.
going the completely opposite way, very left, and hell, he hangs out with Midas Touch now and does
Yes,
shows
he
with
does.
them. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, you're talking about going from A to Z.
Yeah. It was earlier, it was on Midas Touch that I heard that. And I
Yeah,
think for some reason, I think it happened yesterday. And I
it
was
could.
listening to it a little bit of it last night. Um, and yeah, they're talking about all 17. It took
Wow, I
yeah,
knew
the jury less than a day of deliberations, and all 17 charges guilty.
because I did hear something yesterday, and I wasn't aware of which case it was that they were
Yeah,
talking
he's
about.
got
But they
so
were
many.
talking about that one of the jury members made a statement to the press that they wish they could have given harsher charges because it was deserved.
Huh?
And I was like, okay, but who are you talking about? He was like, I was catching
Yeah,
it going in and out of the office as the news was on my computer. And so I would catch a few bits and I'd come back and they'd be on another topic. And I was like,
something
well,
else. Yeah,
crap.
yeah.
So,
Hey,
yeah, I
Janet.
mean,
Hi, Rose Blue.
hi, Rose. Hi, Bora
Yeah,
Bora.
yeah. Avana, look into it. Oh, that. Yeah, I was surprised
Well, I
because I
know.
wasn't exactly sure that it had gone to jury yet. I called.
Well, I think because that's an older charge that they started while he was still in office.
Uh, it
Was it
was,
or right after he got out of office? I don't remember
yeah,
which,
yeah.
but it
This
was like one of the
this is New
first things,
York.
and they went after Trump org.
Yeah,
They were like, if we take down the company, we're going to take down him
yeah.
because that's going to lead to everything else, you know.
Exactly. Cut him off
And
at the knees, take away his ability to grift, and take away his ability to make money. And now
yep,
we'll talk about the other things. Yeah,
that's
Alana
it.
said, yeah, I just did. And all 17 charges. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
and I know that I had saw something. He tried to get the judge to throw something out with the E. Jean Carroll case, the rape case. And the judge got mad as hell at him and
Really?
said, stop your tomfoolery or something to that effect. And if you don't shut up, I'm going to put you in jail to shut you up. And I was like, holy crap. I don't think that man's ever had anybody tell him to shut up. I mean, or I'm
I
going to put your ass in
really
jail
see
if you
that.
don't shut up. I
Really.
mean, I was like, that judge was pissed. Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, we knew that the time would come when he would have his tower moment. And
Oh yeah,
we are
we're
witnessing
watching
it
the
right now.
beginning crumble.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
foundation is starting to split and crumble, and it's going to take out all the rest. So
Exactly.
once
Yeah.
your
And
foundation goes,
yeah, yeah, exactly. And Rose said, yeah, is this
it's Trump
Trump
org.
person?
It's his
It's Trump
organization,
org. Yeah,
which basically was just him with his
exactly.
children having made up titles so they could get money too and not have to go have a
Yes,
real job, you know.
yes. And I think that this might now as well open up the possibility of additional criminal charges,
Yeah.
because they were basically cooking the books,
Oh yeah.
right? So, I'm getting a tax break, I'm claiming this, I'm doing that. So yeah, they were um I think the IRS is going to be coming up next going, excuse me,
That's
sir?
why the Republicans are so pissed off about the
Yes.
money that went to the IRS, the $80 million or whatever it was, to hire like
Yeah,
1,500 new IRS agents, because the IRS had already made a statement that they didn't really audit rich people because they couldn't afford the manpower to
exactly.
stick with it. So that's why there was always the little guy that was getting busted for crap. And
Yeah,
that they really wanted to go after the big guys, but they didn't have the manpower. And so Biden has made sure that they're
yeah,
now getting the manpower and the people that know what to do with big money like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's right. This is RICO
Yeah,
charges.
very big.
And
Hey, they
just
took Al Capone through his taxes, you know.
exactly.
If you're gonna be a criminal, boy, you better pay your taxes. It's the only way to keep your
Yeah,
butt safe.
if nothing else, make sure your taxes are up to date.
And legit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Make sure
And
your
legit.
taxes are legit and paid on time. And
Yeah,
you might just, it might be a lot harder to prove anything else, So,
yeah.
because I know, yeah, with the E. Jean Carroll case, something that Trump was trying to get something thrown out, and I guess he wouldn't shut up about it. I don't know if he was actually in the courtroom or if he was talking to whoever, but the judge got really pissed and told him he better shut his mouth or he's going to put him in jail for not shutting up. I was like, oh my God, that's too
I'm
much.
gonna have to look that up just so that I can enjoy it.
Just, yeah. And it was,
Hey,
I think it
Kathy,
was Midas Touch. I heard him talking about it. It's because they were laughing about. You think
you know
anybody ever
what?
told him to shut up
Well,
before? And I said, I don't think so.
yeah,
Or it
I
might have
like
been
my
Mary Trump that was talking about it. Because she does not, there is no love lost between her and her uncle.
no,
You
no,
know,
none.
you
Well,
know.
he was, and of course, entertainment purposes only, but he cut off one of his nephew's medical bill payments,
Yeah.
and the boy had, I think, some kind of a degenerative disease, or he
Congenital
had
heart
something.
disease or something like that. He was
Yeah,
born with it. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, in order to get the family, and I think that was, yeah, his brother's son.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he put the pressure on them to do things his way, and one of the ways he did that was to cut off the boy's medical funding.
Yeah.
Now, now, you got to be a special kind of low life to do that to a child.
Especially a child that it has nothing to do with whatever's going on in the family.
No,
They're a child.
no.
They didn't ask to be born. They certainly didn't ask to be born with a disease or.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
um,
Tammy says
I,
the dress. Was it the dress? Yeah.
ooh.
Well,
Yeah, he tried to steal
yeah.
all of Mary's inheritance, her and her brother.
Yes, he
And
did.
that's how she found out how low-handed he was, because she
Yeah.
kept having reporters coming. This one reporter kept coming back to her, saying, You've got to have some kind of evidence that he has ripped you off of all of these millions of dollars. And finally, out of frustration, Mary called her attorney, the family. I guess it was a family attorney. I don't know, but it was one her dad had hired.
Yeah.
And said, do we have any kind of paperwork? And he was like, yeah, we got a room full. Duplicate copies, one for you, one for your brother. He says, you can come get it anytime you want it. She called up the reporter and said, pick me up, because she was on crutches at the time. She had broke her leg. And
Oh
so
my.
she was stuck at home. That's why the reporter kept catching her at home, because she was stuck at home. And she called the reporter up and said, come get me. We're going to go get the paperwork.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure the reporter thought, my God, has heaven rained down its blessings on me? Because she said it was like a room full of boxes stacked upon boxes. And they hauled all that stuff out, and her brother was like, let them take my half and do whatever you want with your half. And I mean, those reporters walked off with a room full of documents. And as they started going through it, and Mary started going through it, she said with every paper she read, she got more and more angry. And that's when she decided to sue the entire family for stealing their inheritance.
And oh, they wouldn't let her present. Oh, you mean, Tammy, you mean Trump's people wouldn't, they wouldn't let her present the dress. Is that what you're saying? Because that would make sense for them to say, no, we don't want, because clearly, even after all this time, the dress has his DNA.
Yeah, because Mary Trump is the one, because Trump has refused to give a DNA sample because of the dress. He knows it's going to match. And he's refused to give a sample. And then Mary Trump came forward and said, I will be more than happy to give you a sample. And you can prove, family connection through that. There's a way they do that. I thought, oh, you go Mary, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Isabella says, I think.
Inconclusive. It could be. It wasn't.
It could be. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that. But okay, it was inconclusive. There is a way to make it conclusive, and that is you've got nothing to hide, provide your DNA.
Yeah.
And they could go in and they could take a look, and they could say, no, okay, we can prove that it is, but we can definitely say that it isn't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyway. Somebody's home. Yeah.
It's Grubhub. Dinner just got delivered for the boys.
Woo! Yeah, that'll be nice. So I think maybe we can pull a couple cards. Let's take a look and see let's just confirm. Is this going to lead to RICO charges against Trump and the people involved, particularly with him and Eric, Ivanka? Ivanka's name is all over.
She's already throwing all of her relatives under the bus. Daddy's little girl has learned well. She doesn't want to be stuck with that mess.
No. She, and I knew she would. I said even 2 years ago. I said, this is the one that's going to hurt him the most, the one that's going to bring him to his knees, is when Ivanka goes against him, and she will turn on him, which it kind of reminds me of that. There's a fable about, I don't know, I think a frog and a scorpion or something, and the scorpion needs to get across the water and ask the frog, could you take me? And the frog says, no, you're a scorpion. Oh yeah, no, but you'd be helping me. I wouldn't, I certainly wouldn't hurt you. And so the frog says, yeah, okay, and takes the scorpion across the water. And when they get to the other side, the scorpion bites him.
Yeah.
And the frog says, why'd you do that? And he said, well, I'm a scorpion. right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she learned at her father's knee. You can't be shocked that she turned on you because she did exactly what you've been doing.
Oh, absolutely. Because you know damn well he threw all of his kids under the bus.
Oh, yeah,
Every little thing that's come along, especially anything to do with business, he's blamed his kids for.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so are we going to have, and hi, Katie, the energy worker, and you're not late. We
Hi,
just,
Katie.
yeah,
You're
we're doing
just on
fine.
time.
Hello, Heather.
Hi, Heather. Another sister arrived. We got
Yes,
a room full of sisters now.
yes, very good. And by the way, folks, before I do this, I just want to say if you can like, share, subscribe, that is fantastic. That's wonderful. Don't forget to go down in the
Thank
description of the
you.
video, and you'll find Shari's.
Don't tell Allison I'm cheating a chocolate shake.
I see nothing. I see nothing. Uh, so yeah, go over to Shari's channel. Make sure that you give her a like and a share, subscribe, and
Thank
all
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you're done that and you still have time, you go over to Indigo Jaguar and you do the same thing there. And then you go to Avana Intuitive and do that. And then Heart and Soul Connected and Dragonfly Crystals. There you go.
And
That's all.
Aries Girl Tarot. That's Allison. Aries Girl Tarot.
Oh, Aries Girl.
Always forget her.
How can I forget? She's so quiet.
I know. Until you get her wound up and going, and then she goes. It's like somebody winds her up and pooh, lets her go.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All righty. Perfect. Well, let's see. Are there RICO charges coming?
This jumped out as I don't do reversals.
Uh-huh.
This jumped out when I was shuffling. This is the first card that flew out of the deck. It's the King of Pentacles reversed. Greed, indulgence, material loss, obsessed with wealth and status, financially inept. Boy, if that doesn't describe somebody we know to a T.
Absolutely.
Which, of course, fits since his last name starts with a T.
Yeah.
But then I drew the Four of Wands, and I think this is the opposition who's going to be celebrating.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Moneybags doesn't really have any money in his bags. It's all BS. Ending with, I pulled the High Priestess. And I think this is, you know, one of the aspects of the High Priestess is talking about high morals.
Or lack thereof. Yeah.
And I think that this is showing that the people that are coming against him are going on their morals because he is such an immoral person. Yeah. You know, that's what it's saying to me. Now,
yep.
I could be wrong. For entertainment purposes only, but
absolutely.
He is,
no, totally. Yeah. I started off with the Knight of Pentacles, right? Which is
Pentacles for a money situation.
Yeah, exactly. And the Knight of Pentacles, not quite the king, but that's the two boys and Ivanka that are in there, and they're kind of, excuse me, the moon. They are coming to terms with all that delusional thinking and all that doing things in the middle of the night and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So what's going to prevailing is temperance, where people are saying, okay, you know what, let's cross our T's, dot our I's, and we'll get them. And yes, Heather, we're talking about 45. How can you tell?
And I mean, for 2 years, we've heard people bitch and complain, pardon the French, about what's taking them so long. Why are they taking so long? Well, the reason why they've been taking so long is to make sure that all their T's are crossed and their I's are dotted and
Exactly.
everything is squared away, because he has had the uncanny ability to slip through the cracks all of his life from people that get in a rush to charge him with stuff. And they tend to jump the gun, and they, and things get overlooked. And I have to admit, I mean, I was getting frustrated with Merrick Garland myself.
Yep.
What's this card say?
Totally. Yeah. And then I got the Knight of Swords that coming in fast. And yeah, like you said, ultimately it's death card. That's kind of what ends this 5-card spread. This is the beginning of the end of
well, and I did a 3-card and then just started shuffling as you were talking. Another card flew out in reverse, which I don't have reversals in my deck.
Yeah.
Or the 6 of Cups. Living in the past.
Yeah.
Lacking playfulness or forgiveness. Lacking independence. Unable to move forward.
That's him right now, being totally excuse me while I put those back and grab another deck. But
what was the next one?
He's never been in that position before.
I'd have drawn one more card. I'd have pulled the Knight of Pentacles.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one you just pulled?
Yeah, I had the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah.
I was 1 card off.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, yeah, I think I'll stick with the tarot. So, yeah, it looks like they will get him they will get him on RICO charges. I don't think Trump is ever going to end up in jail, to be honest with you. I think I see him sitting someplace where he doesn't really have a lot of interaction with anyone. He's very much in solitude. He's cut off basically from everyone. So
actually, it's really too dangerous to put him in jail. As much as I would love to see him behind bars, it's too dangerous, not just for him, but for any of the other prisoners that would be in his vicinity.
Exactly.
Because, you're talking some really very sketchy people that he's close to.
Exactly.
Not just in our country, but other countries as well.
Exactly.
Who are famous for encouraging leaps of freedom through the windows and
that
kind of thing. Slipping in the shower and having hit your head and break your neck and kind of thing. And
exactly.
So,
no, I can't see. I've never been able to see him in jail.
What the hell is the Secret Service going to do if they put him in jail? They're going to have to sit in the cell with him. I mean,
no, it's too much. However, Don Jr. and Eric, that's a little bit of a different story.
Yeah.
So so is Ivanka. I think she's going to get away lighter than the other two because she turned on everyone.
She's very adept at pulling the poor little me princess with the voice and the I just did what they told me to do and and I was just protecting my children and I don't believe it. You are a black widow if ever I saw a black widow spider if ever I saw one.
Exactly. No, she learned how to manipulate at a very, very early age. Eric and Don Jr. Let's take a look. Are they going to be looking at some jail time?
Okay, let's see what's.
Oh, you know what? I just, whoops, I just got the deck character sets today.
I just
So,
got mine yesterday, so
yeah. So let me work with this. Hi,
but I
Shari.
hadn't cleansed it yet, so I've been kind of like
Ah,
not wanting to pull it out because I hadn't cleansed the deck yet.
yeah.
I try to do that before I use them, but I'm getting very tempted to go over there and pull it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I know. Oh, I forgot I took that.
Oh, and Rose Blue says
I
Junior.
forgot I took that deck out. I'm gonna use that one. That's an oracle deck.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey,
see. We're gonna
Marlene.
do.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. What does the deck of characters have to say?
Three. Okay, that's Eric. We're doing Eric and Don, right?
Uh-huh.
Junior, who is
Okay.
needs to lay off the powdered sugar really bad.
Yeah.
He is looking really bad.
Oh, yeah. The boys are not going to be doing not going to be doing too well. So for for um for Don Jr., what I got is the how am I going to do that? There you go. Camouflage. So, hiding in the weeds. You don't see me, don't look here, don't look here. Yeah, the cauldron, because he is in an awful lot of hot water, and the bulldozer. So yeah, they are going to ride over him like nobody's business. It's not going to be very good for him. Eric, yeah, Eric has been totally, this is the naked man, he's been totally left out to be exposed. And I think that there was probably an agreement between, Daddy Donald and Ivanka that if anyone's going to take the fall, it's going to be Eric, right? So here he is. He's lost in a maze of trying to figure out what his options are and what he's going to be doing next. But ultimately, the desert. He ends up, kind of being on his own and kind of isolated himself. So I think that they are going to try to, push as much as they can on Eric. Yeah, I paste Eric. Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what's funny? When I shuffled and drew and laid down these cards, I laid them face down so I didn't see what direction. They all came out reversed. Evidently, I had my deck upside down. When I shuffled and laid them out, and it's like, okay, no, I laid them out that way.
Yeah.
So there's they're all reversed. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna go with that. So, and then,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that the boys are definitely going to be taking the brunt of it, and Eric in particular, which, when I go into Eric's energy, it's like he's kind of the kindest out of all of them. Like, if you could ever call a Trump kind, but he's a little more aware, and he's always been the guy on the outside, always kind of fighting to get in. So, yeah, absolutely, they're going to blame him.
oh yeah, okay. With Eric, I started with him first. I got the 10 of Wands reversed, carrying the burden.
Yeah.
They're going to pin him for it.
Yeah.
Then I pulled the Knight of Cups reversed. Disappointment, overactive imagination, jealousy.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then I got the 7 of Wands. Exhaustion, giving up, destroyed confidence.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like Eric-y poo. Because yeah, when I go into his energy, I feel like I'm going into moldy cotton balls. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I can describe it as. It's like going into a cloud of cotton balls, but they're not pristine white cotton balls. It's like
Yeah.
moldy, stinky, old,
Yeah.
dirty cotton balls. Is it that
Yeah. Totally.
that has just been completely and totally just saturated with everything bad. And his wife is even worse than an actual Trump. The Laura, her whatever her name is,
Yeah.
um, she's a piece of work. Oh my goodness. Um,
Yeah.
okay, now for Junior, I pulled the Four of Swords reversed, exhaustion, and then I
Yeah.
pulled Justice reversed, lack of accountability, guilt, dishonesty, punishment,
Punishment. Yeah.
followed by the Devil reversed, exploring dark thoughts, detachment,
Yeah.
resentment, lack of will. Yeah, that's Junior.
Yeah.
And then I went
Absolutely.
into this is the Oracle of Shadows and Light. This
Okay.
is a really cool Oracle deck. I haven't used it a whole lot. I'm still trying to get a feel for it. Amy sent me that deck, and
Oh, nice. Okay.
um, she had it, was using it one night when we read together, and I made a comment about, oh, I like that deck. And next thing I know, I had one. She sent me one. I was like, wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing I pulled is Angel of Alchemy, a miracle. It's going to take a miracle for them to try to get out of as much trouble as they're in, because they are in way over their head.
Yeah.
Followed by the Angel of Time, working too hard. If they worked it hard at doing things legitimately as they do at trying to cover it
Yeah.
up, they would be billionaires hand over fist. I
Yeah.
mean, think
Yeah.
of the Kennedys, or most of the Kennedys. I guess some of them aren't quite up to par, but um, most of them have spent their life, even with their privilege and their money, and yeah, some shady things have happened, and yeah, some issues happened, but they've spent a lot of their time, a lot of their money through their family on
Yeah.
doing for others, trying to make life better for
Yeah.
those less fortunate than them. And
Yeah.
that speaks a lot of on character of how you're
Absolutely.
raised, And
Absolutely.
in a way, you almost can't blame, Sniffy, Biffy, and
Yeah.
Princess, because look who was teaching them, and obviously their mother didn't do a much better job of it, because they didn't seem to learn anything from her. The last card I pulled is called Death and the Maiden. And it says
Interesting.
invasion, boundaries violated, dominance. This is how their daddy has treated them all of their life.
Yes.
I look at this and I see daddy and princess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
This,
yeah, and Heather made a point. She said, yeah, I never liked the photo of Ivanka sitting on her daddy's lap. I got awful vibes from them. Yes, I know exactly the picture that you're
oh,
talking about. And
there's a video
absolutely.
showing her giving him a lap dance from that. They took a still shot for that photo. There is a video like 5 minutes long, and they're at one of the Miss America things, and the music's playing, and he's got her on his lap, and you can tell she's not comfortable doing what she's doing, but he's got a grip
Yeah.
on her hips. He's not letting her up, and it's like there are people sitting around them that are in the video. You can see people like casting their eyes towards him, like, "Oh my God, is he
Is he?
doing what
Yeah.
I think they're doing?"
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yes, Sonia says, yeah, is Junior doing drugs? Is the Pope Catholic? Yeah.
Does a bear poop in the woods? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think he's been doing that for
Oh
quite a
yeah,
while,
he loves the powdered sugar, as we call it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we call him
Stopping at the
Skippy.
donut shop on the way home.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, I haven't really used these cards that much. I haven't really had call to use them. But when I flipped those over and they were all reversed, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." I said, "Okay, this is telling
yeah.
me
There's a message.
this needs to have something to go with it." And wow, these
Yeah,
just
actually,
completely,
those were bang on, especially that last one.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, this
yeah,
one, the Angel of Alchemy miracle, that's Eric.
yeah,
He's waiting for his miracle to come and save his ass because he's
yeah,
the one that's always been ignored, always been put down the most by daddy.
yeah.
Yet he's the one that has been there faithfully, like the puppy dog,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
waiting for the next boot to kick him in the face, and he's still waiting.
yeah,
And this angel of time working too hard. This is Junior working too damn hard to try to be just like daddy to make daddy pay attention to
yeah,
him.
yeah.
And of course, this is the princess, the precious, as I like to call her,
Yes,
just
very
wanting
much.
to get away from him, and ugh,
Yeah,
just the thought of that gives me the
I
EBGB.
know.
Just
I know.
my skin crawl.
Totally. Totally. Hey, Sally. And yet Bora Bora says, Sherry, you're too much. Does a bear poop in the woods? Yes,
That's
exactly.
a saying down here, except, well, we use other words, but
Yeah,
you get the gist, and does a bear in the woods?
exactly. Yeah.
Um,
And yes, Sonia says, yeah, he talked about how beautiful his daughter was. And if she wasn't his daughter, what he'd do to her. Yes, he was, I think it was on The View. Um, I, I know that Barbara Walters was interviewing him, and yeah, he was commenting on her and how beautiful. And yeah, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd probably be dating her. And and then another question that was posed was, um, seriously, like, okay, what is it that the two of you have in common? And they were both asked, and yeah, his comment was, "What do we both have in common? Sex." And I thought
I
there
thought
is.
I've seen that interview. I thought she was going to go through the floor. She was very
Yeah.
uncomfortable in that interview,
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you say, what do we have in common?
and
Well,
she
we
was
both
saying
like
golf or
classical
something
music.
like
Golf.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She was saying golf. That's what we have in common. Yeah. So there's something there. And then again, no one has up until now, up until 18 Carol, no one has made him accountable for saying that. But things are quickly turning the other way, right? With
yeah,
this 17 out of 17 convictions
yeah.
for the Trump
You know what
organization.
makes me think about, especially after pulling that card, and we're talking about the video, the lap dances, the whole
Yeah.
bit. Like so many young women who are put in that kind of position by someone in the family who is older and more in control of what's happening than they are.
Yeah.
So many women, when they do get to the point that they can do something about it, don't. Because of one, they don't want to be ostracized by their
Yeah.
community, their family, their lifestyle, because they stepped out and said what happened was wrong. Put a man in that position, steps out and says something, and everybody's, oh, isn't he wonderful? Isn't he brave? He came forward. And
Yeah.
you let a woman do it, and the first thing is, well, what was she wearing?
Yeah.
What was she doing?
Exactly.
What
Yeah.
did she do to make them do that? It's like, no, what
Yeah.
she wore, what she did has
Yeah.
nothing to do with it at all. The fact that this was his child which again just makes my skin crawl. Um, and this is just Shari talking YouTube. This is not my opinion only. But I think that somewhere along the way, she just made a bargain with herself that she would keep it hidden. She would just ignore it. She would pretend it never happened. There are people that have been through a lot worse who managed to lock it away in their brains.
Yep.
And 30 years down the road, they have no memory of it ever happening
Yep.
simply because their brain has locked it up. And
Yep.
unless they go through intensive counseling to pull it back out and deal with it, you know,
Yeah.
it just makes me wonder what kind of a mom is she? And I mean, what kind of a mom was her mother? I mean, obviously her mother had to have seen that. The woman was not stupid at all.
No.
Very astute businesswoman. I mean, she made Donald more millions than he knows what to do with. And
Exactly. She was the brains behind the organization.
oh,
She
big time.
really, truly was.
Big time. Yeah. I mean, she was not stupid.
No.
So, you know, does that mean that she was willing to sacrifice her daughter so that she could keep control or keep the money or keep the power, the power balanced in that relationship? I mean, if so, that's even worse, you know.
Yeah, that's on her. No, I get that.
And it
And
just
you know
makes
what?
me wonder what kind of mom has that created in the Precious with her children, because she does seem to be extraordinarily protective of them. She doesn't let them out in public. She doesn't parade them around for people to look at and see. The only time I've ever seen her children out and about is when it's some function that her daddy is heading up and
Yeah.
he demands that the family all show up, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think that chances are very, very good that that is going to be part of her defense strategy when they come for her, is the I haven't said anything until now,
mhm.
but this is what my life has been like, and this is what I was forced to do, and so on and so forth.
And we don't know how far down that rabbit hole she had to go.
No, exactly.
I mean,
We don't. It's by virtue of the fact of who she is and what they were doing. It just it does taint her a little bit, and it makes it difficult for um, those women who have truly been victimized in horrendous ways.
yeah,
Again, to be believed, to be listened to,
yeah,
because it's like, well, come on now, you know you didn't think of all the things that daddy did while you were making the money and living the high life. Now all of a sudden you're in hot water. Now it's, oh wait, hold on, here's something. So
yeah.
it's that, I mean, I fully appreciate that there is that possibility that that happened to her, and if it did, that would be horrible regardless of who you are.
Right.
But by virtue of the fact of who she is and who's involved, it just makes it that much harder for
To feel
for the
sympathy
next, yeah, and for the
or
next one who
empathy.
comes along. Yeah, and there are so many victims up there who have lived with, this, what they perceive as a shame, that
Yeah,
as if they did something wrong.
because
No,
that's what you're taught.
yeah,
And unfortunately, societies across the world still teach
yeah,
that thought that it's the woman's fault if something happens, and it's like she had no say in it. Now, once the Precious got to an old enough age to be able to get up and get out and do her own thing, become her own woman. She's not stupid. She's got a college degree, you know. Um,
yeah,
the fact that she just went along for the ride was like, you know, and in some respects, you've kind of given up some of that autonomy of saying, look what I was forced to go through.
Yeah.
Yes, as a child, it was horrible and there should be punishment for that. But that doesn't give you an excuse to just continue
Yeah.
the wrongdoings of this man. You know, it doesn't forgive that.
And yeah,
You know,
it's
maybe
a
they'll go a
vicious,
little lighter on her punishments because
yeah,
of it. And I have a feeling that will happen very strongly.
yeah,
But yeah, I have a hard time feeling sorry for her as a survivor of
yeah,
sexual molestation that I still have a very difficult time to even talk about. Um, yeah,
yeah,
it's a very very difficult topic, and I you know and
yeah,
I don't talk about it simply because the people that were involved are no longer here. So you know what is it going to do? I've come to terms with it and have dealt with it
yeah,
so that I can move forward. You know, and there you know the those that were involved are not around anymore. They've passed. So,
yeah.
you know, what good does it do for me to say anything? And
Yeah, sometimes you know what you need to say the words out loud. You need
yeah,
to hear yourself say the words so that you can then, to some extent let go of it. Is this something that, you can do your best to forget? No,
yeah,
it's always going to be there. It's a matter of accepting more than anything else because you can't unremember, right?
right, exactly.
Um, but I just, yeah, I don't I don't want to be totally judgy of her. And yet at
Exactly.
the same time, I also think, okay, you know what? I can understand as a child when you have no power. But when you're a grown ass woman who's married and who has been educated and all, don't tell me you couldn't do something about it then. Or don't tell me that, you couldn't have that conversation
Yeah,
with and say enough.
yeah,
Enough is enough. This is where it ends and whatnot. So, I think she kind of kept quiet, yeah, because that's where the money was coming from. But
hmm,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. The money bought the silence. It was a trade off she made, you know, and now
yeah,
time to pay the piper. So,
yeah. And it is. It's a vicious circle. There are no um there's no really good sides or positives to something like that. It is difficult to overcome. I
yeah,
totally understand that. And it happens to an awful lot of women in all kinds of different circumstances. So, you know, no, I think I would do my very best not to be judgy,
yeah,
because yeah, the last thing that I would ever say to a woman who said, yes, something happened to me, was, what did you do? What were you,
right,
you say, yeah, what were
right.
you wearing? Were you drinking at the time? Did you give him signals? I don't care if you walk out naked, fully naked, in a room full of men.
Yeah,
That does not give them permission to do anything.
exactly.
That No, it absolutely does not. But anyway, that's a yucky topic. And
Yeah,
I agree with Rose Blue, who said, yeah, she saw the picture, needs to have a shower. And yeah, I feel like I need to go have a shower now.
yeah.
But yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
Isabella. It's like to hell and back. You're right.
Yeah,
It is. And it's
absolutely.
yucky energy to go into, which is why I was having such a visceral reaction, especially when I drew that card. It was just kind of slammed me in the face, like, whoa, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And it brought it all back up because I tend to forget about that aspect of it because I'm just looking at what
Yeah.
he's doing now, you know, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
Like you said, there's a part of me that feels for her,
Yeah.
but there's another part of me that's like, you kind of wasted any forgiveness people might have for you by
Yeah.
continuing what he does.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
hopefully she's kept her children protected and away from him.
Yeah. One can hope.
And
Okay. Yeah, Bora.
yeah,
So
that's very
Heather,
true, Bora
yeah,
Bora.
Heather has to go. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Heather. It
Thank
was
you, Heather. Have a good night, darling.
always nice to have you here. And I think um, she's got an event that she's posting tonight, isn't she?
Um,
I think.
was it tonight? I don't remember.
I can't remember. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah, yeah.
Check it out and see. Go,
Yeah.
go, yeah. Hop
Check
to
out
her,
her channel and see what
see what's
she's
happening. Yeah.
yeah. And
I don't
yeah,
have anything on Sunday, so
yeah, that's a heavy duty topic. So well, let's look at something
let's clear
lighter.
the air and do something else.
Clear the air. Clear the air. Yeah.
Wish I could
And
light incense in here. I would use it to. I
oh,
get burn it
hey,
in the
Janet,
house.
see you later. Thank you for being here. Yeah,
All right, Bora Bora. Have a good night.
absolutely. Yeah. No, I get you, Sonia. Absolutely get you.
Yeah.
So let's um let's think of something fun that we can pull cards on. Um
How about the fact that Kevin McCarthy thinks he's going to stay in control as Speaker of the House?
sure.
When
Let's have a
somebody
laugh.
was saying yesterday, was it on Linda G's show? Somebody was talking yesterday on someone else's show that they either read or they saw it in a remote that MTG makes McCarthy wear her underwear as a means of control. And I was like, okay, wow, that just came out of left field. I blew my
Yeah.
mind. So I was like,
Yeah. No. No.
I just never saw that. I'm like,
No, I think that's probably one of those stories out there. It doesn't feel right.
it doesn't
Even
feel right.
though, thank you, Sonia. Yes, you have a blessed evening as well. Yeah. Oh, that was Susan Lynn.
That's who it was. Somebody had said it was somebody's show. I know this woman was talking about. It was like, because I guess it was Susan was like, what?
Yeah.
So, or was it Susan that said it? I don't remember.
No, I don't think it would have been Susan
I don't
Lynn,
think it was
but it
Susan.
might have been somebody that
Might have been one of her guides said it. I don't know. It's just a yanker chain. Who knows? She's
hard.
very she's very plugged in. So yeah. But
No, MTG is
that is one sick lady.
oh yeah, she really thinks, and to some extent she does have a lot of control over Kevin McCarthy, because basically the deal that he made with the Republicans in order to get elected is that one only one person could say, hey, I don't want you to be leader.
Yeah, lack of confidence or vote of confidence or whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
yeah,
Yeah.
no confidence. Yeah. So, he is kind of at everybody's mercy trying to please everyone. And she's the loudest one. And she's probably the one that is, in there, you know, yanking him more than anybody else.
Oh, she was so offended because she was told to shut up
Yeah.
and got sanctioned or whatever it was in one of the hearings because
Yeah.
she called the witness, whoever was testifying, a liar to his face.
Yeah.
And that's like, you're not allowed to do that. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
So
like the pot calling the kettle black, you know.
yeah, yeah, totally.
God, I'm full of old fashioned sayings tonight. Geez, where are they coming from?
Yeah,
They just seem to be popping out everywhere.
totally. But yeah, no, I think yeah, she does. I know that she does have good control. But at the same time, she's got to realize that yeah, you know what? Keep pushing him. Keep pushing him to do things that the sort of moderate Republicans, the ones that their numbers seem to be growing, are finally going to say, okay, enough of this shit show. And
Let's go with the Democrats for a while. Let's see what they got to offer.
yeah,
I mean, at
exactly.
least when the Democrats were
Not
in charge
only
of the House, stuff was getting done. I mean,
yeah, so are there yeah, if she pushes, McCarthy goes. If McCarthy goes, who is she then? Nobody. She's just there, right? You just yeah. So
that's what a lot of these guys don't seem to understand. They get a little bit of power where they can do a little bit of damage, and instead of just riding that wave and knocking out, chair legs as they go down the road, they got to stop and bash each and every one so that after a few minutes they're gone. It's like, well,
yeah,
they get rid of the person that who they're riding, and then now you got a new person to deal with. And what if there are enough moderate? I mean, because the Republicans are only ahead in the House by what is it, like
one or two, I think.
just a handful of people,
Yeah.
a handful of votes. If
Yeah.
I think it was 10 or 15, if 10 or 15 moderate Republicans decide, you know what, I've had enough of this crap. Let's see what the Dems can do. And somebody does that lack of confidence and
Yeah.
kicks out McCarthy, there's a real good chance we could see Hakeem Jeffries being put in as Speaker of the House, even though it's the minority party right
absolutely. Now. And I think he is fabulous. He reminds me so much of Barack Obama in his mannerisms, in his speech, in just the way that he delivers.
Level of being able to think on his feet, right on, just
boom,
boom, boom, boom. It's like, holy crap, man, that man is smart.
Imagine a smart leader.
And that's what I want from my leadership. I want people that are smarter than me, but not more devious than me, which I'm not a very devious person. But, I mean, I want somebody that knows their stuff and knows how to deal with this stuff and knows how to handle these situations and can think their way out of a box. I don't want somebody sitting on their thumbs up their butt waiting for some group somewhere that pays their bills to tell them how to think.
Exactly.
It's like the justices, it's
yeah. And Isabella,
that's all getting ready to blow up too.
Yeah, it is 222 to 213. So that's what, 9?
Yeah. Okay. I knew it wasn't by much because when they were doing the speaker count, it took what, 15 times, 14 times for him to finally, after he conceded enough stuff. But the Democrats were like right on point. Not one person deviated. They acted like the Republicans have acted in the past. It was like they were, okay, we're one group, we're going to do this. And everybody did it and no fail. And it was so unusual to see the Democrats do that, because we usually shoot ourselves in our own feet because we can't get along because you have too many people with different ideas and everybody wants to do it their way. And it's like, okay, guys.
And everybody wants to be pleasant to the other guy, and we all want to be accommodating and so on. And I get that. I get that.
Fair and play by the rules. And it's like, yeah, I get that. But when you're dealing with a room full of cheaters and thieves, that's right.
Sometimes life ain't fair. And sometimes you have to find the middle ground so that it's not a case of win or lose. It's a case of everybody Okay, I'm willing to give this up. You're willing to give that up. Okay, then let's.
I have a cousin, or not a cousin. I have a nephew, like he's little. He's actually older than me.
Yeah.
He's actually older than I am. My husband was the baby out of 7. I was the
Mm,
oldest out of 2, and we were still 6 years apart. So,
yeah.
the day I got married, I became an aunt. So, and I became a great aunt the day I got married.
Oh, nice.
I had nieces that already had children that were older than me.
Nice.
But uh, where was I going with that? Oh, crap! I completely lost my train of thought.
Ah, not to worry.
Yeah,
Not,
it'll come back to me
yeah, not
in
to
a
worry.
weird kind of way.
Yeah, it will. It will. So listen, we have got the coronation of King Charles is coming up here.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to throw a couple cards and see if
Yes.
when they say long.
Megan's not going. She's staying here. Harry's going. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to participate in any kind of way. I'm not up that much on royal protocol. I
Yeah,
know William will have a lot to do because he's next in line.
yeah,
And I know that the majority of the British Commonwealth want him to be king and not his dad. But he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't
no,
do something like that. Because he's just everything I read on him is just he's just too good of a
yeah,
person. And Harry, just his energy is just when I go into him, all I get is like this little boy curled up in a fetal position that's waiting for the next strike.
yeah,
That's what Harry's energy feels like. He just feels like he's so wounded inside that he
yeah,
he
yeah. I
you
mean,
know
imagine growing up, and particularly after his mother died. I think she did an awful lot to shield and protect him, and William as well. I mean,
yeah,
but after she died, to to be constantly and consistently made aware of the fact that you are the
it's
spare.
fair. Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, you are important in a way. You're just not as important, right?
Yeah.
And how just think
You're
for a
there
moment.
in case your brother F's up.
Yeah, and William was never quite called on the carpet the way that Harry was. For whatever Harry did was, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. And Isabella, yeah, I'm not exactly sure that Charles hey warrior girl, that
Hi, warrior
Charles
girl.
um when Harry was born, he was a disappointment to Charles because Charles had wanted a girl. And that was something that he had made initially very, very clear, that he had wanted a girl and he didn't get a girl.
That
So,
Harry came out a redhead. And so there was a lot. I remember back when Harry was born, there was a
yeah,
lot of speculation about, well, who's his father? Who's his father, really? And
yeah,
it's like, well, if you look at Diana's family, her brother is, I mean,
yeah,
Harry's a spitting image of her brother. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah. And yeah, Kelly from Dozen Cats says, yeah, I did a reading on Harry after I read his book. He is a brave and courageous young man for speaking his truth, despite
absolutely.
the judgment that already existed. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
It's like I said, when I go into his energy, it's that curled up, wounded puppy,
yeah,
like he's just now starting to emerge.
yeah,
Um, I don't know enough about Megan to know if she's actually doing him any good or if she's making it worse. I get both sides depending. Sometimes I get, no, she's really good for him. She's drawing him out. And then there are other times when I get things like, yeah, but there's ulterior motives there. So she's
Yeah.
just hard for me to read. I don't know. Somebody else may be able to read her like a book, but I can't get into her energy.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just blocked when it comes to her. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because she seems like a nice person. I mean, you know, and
Yeah.
I know they were always comparing her to Catherine, you know, who went through
Which again in itself is
10 years
terribly
of
unfair.
hell for everything that every movement word she spoke, you know, when she and William were just dating before they ever even got married. I mean, that's why he waited so long. He wanted to make sure she could stand the heat because he saw it nearly kill his mother. You know, I mean, in a lot of ways, it actually did kill his mother. But
Yeah, Warrior Girl says we should read on it, on whether or not Megan is good for Harry. Okay, you know what? Let's take a look at we'll do Charles, and
yeah, that's what I'm drawing for right now. So
yeah, yeah, and
and then
then
we'll do Megan.
yeah, and then we'll do Megan, and yeah, I saw the show as well, the series on Harry and Meghan on
I
Netflix.
haven't watched it yet. I
It was eye opening.
and yeah, I mean, I've heard, you know, you hear so many things, and it's like when you
Yeah.
don't actually know the person, then
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of it can be a little difficult, excuse me, to say, but well, now I think that
okay, I just pulled some oracles on Charles.
yeah,
The first one I pulled was Pleiades. And on this card, it says double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Now, that's always been one of Charles's strong suits.
yeah,
Is his willingness to try to do and uplift others, in especially in certain areas. He's always been very, especially when it comes to like the climate, the environment. That
yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
he's big gung ho on that, and I think that hopefully he's going to make the ability for some real change to come
yeah,
across. Maybe starting on that side, we can get our side to go along with them.
yeah,
And then I pulled the Sacred Waters. This is from the Rose Oracle, this one. And it says nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self care. He's been waiting a really long time to put that crown on his head.
yeah,
Now, whether or not you are for or against the monarchy, I guess, you know,
yeah,
I I mean, to us, I think to most Americans it comes across as like Cinderella ish
yeah,
type, you know, it's this fantasy world, and we don't really know or live under a monarchy, so it's kind of hard for us to understand why so many would be against it and want to see it end. Um, one of the things I've seen Charles work so hard at is trying to, I know one of his goals is to like downsize the monarchy where
yeah,
it's, you know,
absolutely. Yeah,
small enough to drown it in a bathtub, so to speak. Um, and I think that that's something that William has wanted to work on as well. It's something that they seem to be eye to eye on, in
yeah.
that of making it, you know,
Oh,
more,
sorry.
even more of just a figurehead position, I think, without any real, you know, I mean, I'm
Oops.
not really sure what their I'm not really sure what their how they make their money. I mean, I know they get some money from taxes, but not. I had read somewhere not as much as people think.
Yeah, no, not as much as
A
people
lot of
think.
it comes from their
Yeah,
holdings, their land, their
yeah,
stuff that goes back eons. That I'm sure just one tiara would put my family up for the next 3 or 4 generations.
yeah. You'd think. Yeah, yeah. No, I think he is doing, and he has done a very good job of bringing people's attention to, how we, um, the things that we consume, the things that we use, the climate change, the new green economy, and all that. Absolutely, he certainly has done that, and with
That's my last card I pulled for
yeah,
Charles. His ears wide open.
yeah,
Kind of a play because he's got such big ears. I pulled that card. I was like, okay, spirit, that's just mean. If you're pulling a joke on me, or that's just mean.
yeah.
um, that was my first thought that y'all just picking at him now,
Yeah,
But
yeah, well, yeah, and
but
it's
in a way,
just
it's
showing you
very
that they have
true.
a sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly. And and after the heaviness we just went through for the last 30 minutes or so, we needed the laugh. So I needed the laugh. But
Yes,
I look
exactly.
at it, while he's waited a really long time to sit on that throne, he's done so with the utmost faith and respect to his mother and to the position. With the exception of the debacle over Diana and Camilla, and I mean, I got to the point where I looked at it this way: okay, if his children are willing to accept her as queen consort, then who the hell am I to say anything about it?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
he
No one
married
has
her,
that
and if his
opinion.
children were willing to
Yeah.
embrace her into the family, who am I to say
Yeah.
that's? I mean, you
Yeah.
you would think you would want somebody,
Yeah.
especially in that position, to be with someone that they love, that is going to support them, and
Yeah.
she
He,
does
he
seem to
makes
be
them
very
happy.
strong
Yeah.
support.
Yeah. Whatever she is.
Exactly,
Makes
Kelly.
them
Kelly's
happy.
just saying the royal family brings in millions of pounds to the UK economy. And
Yeah.
uh and yeah, and all the causes, all of their I know Catherine just went on another solo trip for some big cause that she's with early childhood
Yep.
development that she's very into. The Queen bestowed on her the all of the gardens and stuff that are in
Yeah.
the arbories and all that stuff, because
Yeah.
she's as much into the outdoors as the Queen was, and I know they got along really well. Um, the Queen bestowed a lot of stuff on Catherine. I think that
She
for a
did.
long time, it seemed like the press, especially in England, really rode her butt, talking about Catherine,
Yeah.
Weighty Katie and all that kind of stuff. But she stuck to her guns and kept to herself and endured. And I think the fact that I always felt like the Queen regretted that she didn't make it easier for Diana to
I think so.
fit in and learn how to deal
Yeah.
with all of the pressure that comes from that kind of position that they were all born into. You're born into that. You don't know any different.
Yeah.
You come into it from something different. I can only just imagine. Oh my God. I mean,
Yeah.
every burp you have is going to be reported. Every
Yeah.
scratch you itch or itch you scratch is going to be, talked about. And I always got the feeling that the queen really regretted that she didn't be the mentor that Diana needed to fit into
Yeah.
that lifestyle. She just expected her to just jump right in and take off.
And take off. Yeah.
And I think that that after, the death and all the horribleness, and then the whole royal family really making it their job to raise those two boys as best they could in the style that their mother wanted them to be raised, which I thought was a lot of respect
Yeah.
shown to Diana after the fact.
Yeah.
But I think that when she saw how serious William and she were with each other, that the queen decided, I'm not going to screw this up.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
she's made sure that Catherine has been completely prepared, and she seems to thrive on it. Now I'm sure she has her days and when
Apparently, Kitty Cat has something to say too.
she's in heat again.
Oh. Okay.
And so she's rubbing up on your leg and it's like, oh my God, shut up. And
Yeah.
but
So yeah, I think I pulled some oracles as well, and what I got was abundance, which is yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot that he has been waiting for, and clearly this is a transformation for him. This is going to be an opportunity for him to put his viewpoints front and center, and to pay attention to what the things that matter to him the most. And he absolutely does want to see the monarchy thrive. Um, he wants to kind of put his own stamp on it. I hope he has enough time to do that,
yeah,
to um, to establish that there is a new way of doing things. Just because you by accident of birth you happen to have a title, it doesn't mean that you are entitled, right?
yeah.
Because really, I mean, as not too many people know, but yours truly is Lady Marina. And, you know,
Go girl.
it it's yeah, because I, own a little bit of property in Scotland.
Yep.
Big,
My
big.
brother's a lord. Somebody bought him a chunk and gave it to him for Christmas. He opened it up. He said, "Look, I'm a lord." I said, "Oh
Yeah,
Lord."
yeah, exactly. So, that doesn't mean anything. There was a time when it did. It doesn't anymore. So I think he wants to pare things down so that there's only a few people, and that makes it more. It makes it special, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and
like Kelly said, Prince Edward chose for his children not to have titles. There's
yes,
been several monarchs, not just England, but other countries,
yes,
where the newer monarchs coming up are like, no, my child's not a prince or a princess or whatever. They're
yeah,
just children, and that's how they're going to be treated.
yeah,
And I think that's wonderful. I mean, I have nothing against people if they want to
oh,
have a king, go for it, but
totally, yeah.
be prepared
And
for what you ask for.
no, I'm not Italian. I am European. Actually, part of my ancestry does come from Romanian royalty. That
Ooh, you're a
it's
gypsy.
well, not
Just a
quite a
little
gypsy,
bit.
but close enough, close enough. So, but yeah, no, not Italian. I was actually born in well, what is now Croatia. It was Yugoslavia. That's what they
Yeah,
called it
okay, I
then.
knew it was. I remember you had said something about that. I knew you were. I always want to say Slovakia, but it's the other one, Croatia. Okay.
Croatia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Croatia. Okay, shall we take a look at
Let's do.
take a look at Megan? Yeah, and then yeah, we're at an
I
hour
agree, Kelly.
24.
I think Charles will be a good king,
Yeah,
and I think he does care.
yeah,
Um, I think he's been very hurt by the things that Harry has said, um, which I understand the need for Harry to say them, and I certainly applaud him for having the courage to do so. But at the same time, part of me is like, you know, maybe it's not good to air that much of your dirty laundry to the public.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah. And oh, Isabella, I think that well, that's exactly what happened on my side of the family and how we ended up where we did is somewhere along the line someone went to slumming. That's exactly what happened.
well, I have an ancestor who was supposed to have been one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, but got in a drunken brawl with one of the other co-signers the night before and got booted from the hall. This is the story that's been passed down. So his signature is
Is absent.
yeah,
Yeah.
his signature is not to be found. And then one arm of our family became very wealthy, cotton growing, plantation owning, slave owning morons who lost everything during the Civil War and basically sold what they could and headed out to West Texas, where the last thing that I had found out on our family was that technically we are ancestors of the original 300 land title owners for Texas. When
Nice.
Texas first started getting
Well,
annexed, and there were 300 land titles that the government sold to people to move to Texas and to do whatever they did back then, plant
colonize
or
it. Yeah.
cattle or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone in our family tree was one of the original 300 landowners. Don't have
Nice.
any land now that I know of, or at least that branch doesn't associate with us. So I don't know. But
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah, I think I came from the slummy side too. So don't feel bad.
nothing wrong with that part. Nothing wrong. Yeah.
Nope.
So you know what? I think that she is very, very good for him, and I like the cards that came out. What I got was stillness. Okay,
Mm,
she brings him peace. She brings him a place where he can, um, yes, where he can be still, where he can go inward. It's a very safe place. She has also been able to provide him with a sense of community. She has made him feel very, very much like he belongs. Um, he's not being excluded in any way, shape, or form. And ultimately, yeah, power that brings him power, and it brings him the power to know that he is more than what people have said he is. He is more than the perceptions um, that are out there about him, and he is feeling very very grounded, very peaceful um, around her. So I think I think she is good for him because yeah, say what you will about her, it makes no never mind. She didn't marry me; she married him, and he didn't marry me. So whatever they do together and how they work together, that's it's
yeah,
not my thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I drew some really good cards for her.
yeah.
First, I drew the Nine of Wands. She gives him courage and that
Hmm.
resilience to
Yeah.
keep going on the days when he's the little boy curled up in the corner trying to overcome whatever is hitting him on that day. And I've always gotten the feeling that he has
Yeah.
more of those days than maybe he wants to
Yes.
realize. And I think he's damn lucky. I mean, like I said, I don't know her. I've never really gotten a very clear reading on her.
Yeah.
Um, but I've always felt like she was really very good for him. And that
Hmm.
she gave him his voice, is how it always struck me.
Yeah.
She's given him the power to use his voice
Yeah.
his way. The only beef I have with him on that is that he does it almost too spitefully at times towards his brother and his dad. It's like, maybe tone it down a little bit. Then I pull the Ace of Wands on her.
Yeah.
So again, she's like the hand coming out of the cloud for Harry. She's giving him that strength and support.
Yes.
And then I pull Justice.
Yeah.
So I think that yeah, she represents to him clarity, um because she's mixed black and white, and he never saw her as that. He just saw her as her.
Her. Exactly.
He never saw her as, oh, you're mixed, or oh, you're black, or oh, you're white. And I think that
Exactly.
when the rumors came out that there were members of the family who
Yeah.
expressed dismay over what if their children looked black, I think as much as she was hurt by that sentiment, I think he was far more hurt than she was.
Absolutely.
Because I think she's grown up. Again, when you grow up with something, yeah, the dig hurts, but you've kind of gotten used to it by now. You kind of expect it.
Yeah.
So I don't think she was taken by surprise with it. I think he was sucker punched by it.
Absolutely.
I think some of the statements that got out that family members said about her or their children coming along, that that really, I think that's where the spiteful tone of his book has come from.
Yeah.
It was because they attacked his children before they were even born.
Yeah.
And it's like,
exactly.
It's like, yeah, you don't go there.
Yeah, and don't spend a good portion of my life telling me in, maybe not exactly words, but certainly in actions, that I don't matter as much as someone else does, and then sit back and tell me what I can and cannot do because how it's going to affect the family. I got 2 words for you.
Yeah.
The first one's
an F and an O.
Yeah, exactly.
The last card I pulled was, I don't know if you can see it. It's called A Deep Breath.
Yeah.
And it's just this face kind of hidden in front of the, taking in that deep breath, that lotus flower there, or whatever it is, whatever kind of flower. I think that's what Megan was for him.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, when Catherine got accepted, she and William got married, she and Harry became very close.
Yes, they did.
And I know there were some very ugly things that were kind of said behind hands about, well, why are they so close, and blah, 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 blah. I think because Catherine is a natural nurturer. She's a natural mother. It's in her DNA to take care of those around her. Absolutely. And I think she saw that in Harry, that he needed to be taken care of. And I think once William realized that, he kind of backed off and let her deal with her relationship with Harry in her own way. And that's why they were so close. And and I always felt like there was a little bit of jealousy on Megan's part because of how close Harry was to Catherine. And I think on Catherine's part, it always felt like a little bit of hurt feelings that he kind of just, when he shifted to Megan, she disappeared, and so that was a little something to get used to. But I think she got over it,
As it happens, and Warrior Girl, their love is real, not fake. Yeah, absolutely. There is real, genuine affection there, and they want to see each other succeed, and they are support for each other. And
Yeah.
um, you know what? I think that they are a wonderful couple, and I hope that they have a very happy life together and a very long life together. I hope the same thing for for William and Catherine. Um,
Yeah, I've always felt like they had that pretty much the same, that they were really a love match. You
Yes,
know, and,
absolutely. Absolutely. And you can still see it in some of the photos after all these years. You can see it when they're interacting and they're talking. You know, that yeah,
few weeks
compare the
back
way
or something there where they went to some event, and the photographer happened to catch them from behind as they were leaving the crowd and going to the theater, and she reached over and swatted him on the behind. I was like, oh my God, that is just so normal. you know.
totally. Yeah, exactly. Totally. It's just that's the way, you look at Catherine's face when she's looking at William, and then put that up against Melania's face, the way she looked at Trump at the inauguration.
Yeah,
So
exactly. No, I mean, when Catherine looks at William, you can see the love. When William looks at Catherine, you can see his love.
yeah,
In the beginning, you saw that from Diana. I never saw it from
from Charles.
Charles because he never loved her. He just did his duty as he was told. And I think that destroyed that possibility more than anything else. I don't think he ever gave it a chance to become something more. Um, and with Harry and Meghan, I see the same thing. When they look at each other, I mean, you can tell that they really love one another. It's not just a choice
Yeah,
they made, or it's not just
yeah,
to get back at somebody, that they really love each other, and that's encouraging in that respect, you
absolutely,
know.
absolutely. All righty. Well, we are at 1 hour and 36 minutes, and I am starting to get a little tired,
Yeah,
and I'm
I'm
starting
starting
to
to
get a
drag.
little hungry.
I'd
It's
share my milkshake with you, but I drink it all.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
my dinner.
yeah.
I
I got to
haven't eaten
think
yet
about
today,
what
so
it
yeah,
is.
I need to go eat too.
Yeah. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for being here and your comments and your
Absolutely.
discussion. It was so much fun. We'll absolutely have to do it again. And just what, it's so much fun just to kind of sit back and chit chat, toss a card, chit chat some more.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was so funny because the other night we finished with Sisters, and as I was going to bed that night, I was like, I think I want to buzz Marina and see what she's doing this weekend. Maybe we can get together and do some readings. And then the next morning I
Oh,
get up and there was a text from you saying, what are you doing Friday night? I'm like, okay, we're on the same wavelength here.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, you beat me to the punch, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But
almost like I'm
yeah,
psychic or something.
yeah, I'm telling you, it's just uncanny.
Okay, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, love you all. Love knowing you're here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if anyone is interested in booking a reading with me, just go down in the description. The email is there. I'll send you all the info. You take care, and I will
Go
be
in
seeing
after the
you next
show and
week.
leave a comment in the comment section because it boosts the algorithm.
Yeah,
And so that helps the channel get put
yeah,
out more. And so
totally.
every
Yeah,
little bit helps. I'm trying to learn all the little tricks.
yeah, me too. And Warrior Girl, don't worry about how it sounded. You're fine. You're all right. We don't
Yeah,
experiment here.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
for a
yeah,
lot of these people that you read on like this, it's a lot of times, all you have to kind of go on is what the press says, and can you really trust what the
yeah.
press says about any of these people? So, they're they're
Absolutely.
they're just there to sell papers or magazines or whatever, get clicks. But
Absolutely. That's
I
it.
think I think the monarchy is in good hands going forward.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, I think I see some good things. I've always sensed good things coming, you know,
Yeah.
bar any catastrophe that takes place that kind of throws things out of whack. But
No,
same for us here in the States. I mean, I can see down the road it's gonna get better, but
it will. Yeah.
it's the road getting there that's gonna be the death of us all. It feels like sometimes.
Yeah. Just have faith. Just
That's
have.
it. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay, everyone. You take
Thank
care.
you for
And
inviting me. Thank y'all for
you're
coming.
welcome. Yes. I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.
Bye.